showtime.
Only slabs.
Hey there, comic book friends and fiends. It's Rob in front of the Great Wall of Comics, and it's time for your new favorite show, Only Slabs. And with me, of course, because it is the same great show with this different name and new merch, but it's also two guys, one show. Mr. Chris the Comic Vet, how you doing up there in Canada, sir?
I'm tired. Like fighting off the polar bears from invading the United States is difficult. Like myself, newbie comics, Comic Aussie, actual Dracula, like all
TM
of us
Nerdy.
Canadian, TM
Yeah,
Nerdy,
you guys are
he's
spread
handling the
out
East Coast. I'm
nicely
telling
there.
like it's not easy, especially
I
coming through
appreciate it
Ontario.
because
Yeah,
those damn polar bears, not only are they vicious and malicious, but they don't know how to hold a comic book to save their lives.
no, they're,
You ever
they're
handed
right
a
up there.
comic book?
They're right up
Hand
there
a
with killer
comic book
whales.
to-
They're just terrible.
Oh, you hand a comic book to a polar bear, and I swear, it's shredded to pieces, spine ticks up to wazoo, everything else. But we're
Sad
going to
but
go
true.
truly international today. Because, well, Chris, you've been up to this point the only international guest on this show.
Yeah, I feel like we're about
Because
to
I
go
don't believe it.
all the World
Yeah, because
Trade
I don't think we've had any of the other
Comics
Canadians.
Council right here.
Right.
Yeah.
But all the way from the United Kingdom, or I guess we could all really kind of say, our parent country.
This for both nations, right?
From over here in the colonies. Let's bring in Sunil Ilsum Comics on Instagram. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good. I thought you were about to reveal, Rob, that I was your dad. I thought that's where that was going.
No.
Parents was like,
Yeah. The resemblance is uncanny.
I was like, this is quite an awkward disclosure moment. What's happening here?
Hey, family, surprise.
Yeah. We're surprised you're not rich, Rob.
This
If you
is
look at the
son.
inheritance.
This is the ill son. Yeah.
Except that I don't know because we haven't talked, but from looking at you, I can't say that I don't think that I might be older than you. So
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Age is
it's irrelevant. We're all children playing with expensive paper.
Yes, we are very much so.
By the
Thanks
way,
for having me on the show.
oh yeah,
very
and coffee
excited.
tastes great today. Out of the official, well, this isn't the official. This is actually the prototype Only Slabs mug because it says 9.9. The official one, which is available on the merch store, is a bigger logo and it's got the 9.8. And just because I did say new merch, I want to make sure everyone knows. Yes, of course, obviously I got the shirt with the two guys, one back, but all of our winners from now on that used to get the SlabHub magnets, congratulations. You will now get the official Only Slabs magnet with the same sexy slab and comic book action. I should really put something behind it so it stands out better in the book there.
Right.
I can rotate. There you go. Two guys, one show. The same thing. And guys, new thing. We now have Only Slab stickers will also be going out to our winners today. So congratulations to all our winners in advance. I know it's going to be hotly contested to try to get your guys' hands on that new merch. So we'll get into a second to introduce and talk to Sunil about him and his collection and his books. Let's real quick run through. Let's do Romper Room. I am going to make the Romper Room prop one day. Did you guys ever have Romper Room over in the UK? Probably not.
No. When you said it a minute ago, I smiled.
Right. So Romper Room was when I was growing up as a kid in 1970. There was a kid show, and at the end of the show, it was kind of set up like a classroom. They would do different things and educational TV type of thing on the public's broadcasting. And at the end of the show, she would pull up this like magic mirror, and it was just like, didn't have a mirror, obviously just looked through it. And she would look out through the television and she'd say hello to all their friends and she'd repeat names. And as a kid, you're sitting there going, oh, I'm right here. I'm right here. And when they say your name, you'd be like, oh, yes.
And take it from me, as a guy with a common name like Chris, she never said my name. Never. Jason, Jeff, Rob, they all got their props every week. Never a Chris.
But so we like to call it, or I like to call it Romper Room, as we go around and we do our obligatory YouTube live thing and say hello to the people who are in the chat at this time. And of course, it's not a show if Lucretius isn't kicking it off for us right out of the back. All allegedly from New Mexico. Happy to have you there as always. And of course, right behind him, I swear Chop and Drop must think, what does Las Crucius do? How can I ever be the first poster? Because Las Crucius is always the first poster, no matter what he does. But Chop and Drop is always right there behind him. Absolutely, it's going to be a slabtastic time. John, thank you so much. Of course, he's become one of the super fans of the show as well. We much appreciate you helping to fend off those polar bears north of the border. Let's see, we go through here.
Legacy 60, that's pretty good. I had no idea.
Johnny, yeah, Legacy 60 show, yeah. Maybe I should start calling it Legacy. I should have one and the Legacy number and the
just LGY,
the Marvel thing. That'd be hilarious. Johnny 5 Alive, hello, how are you? Chris the Comic Vet here. Of course, we know that. Shop for Comics, another round of mystery boxes coming out of Shop for Comics. Yeah. Of course, Remy Q. Yes, our big rant extraordinaire. We love Remy. Matter of fact, Remy will, I'm sure, make an appearance at some point during the show. He usually does. Cat Fan Comics Man, happy to have you there. Yes, OnlySlabs. We do thank Chip. This is another thing. I don't know if you saw Whack Comics thing this morning, and Tyler opened up the Burke box and included some artwork from Chip Getler, which was just amazing. And Lee goes, man, I fucking hate that guy. He doesn't do anything bad, right? It's amazing. And
he's a Renaissance man.
Chip, of course, was the guy who came up with the name OnlySlabs for us and our logo design, our graphic art design for our logo and everything else. So yes, Chip doesn't do anything bad. He's freaking annoying that way.
He's such a good human being too.
Oh no, he absolutely is. Speaking of good human beings, and the man who's always trying to build this community, Gary B, the casual comic guy out there. Thank you very much, sir. And the comic community hunter himself, Beckerman. I don't know if you saw. Have you seen that teaser?
Get out of here!
Oh my God, it was so good. I'm out hunting comic community members. I'm going to get me a Chip Getler. So great.
Yeah.
James Willie helping us with the Canadian contingent to keep the polar bears at bay. We appreciate you and your family. I'm sure your family's all here to help you get some. And speaking of down under, here's our man, Mad Spidey. How are you doing? We'd love to have him on the show, only he's not a slab collector. Yeah,
it's true. It's true.
So yeah. But I am talking to the other Simon. We're trying to land that one. You think that's a time zone conundrum. It's like 4 a.m. there tomorrow. Ooh. So that's a tough one to land, but we'll work. We'll think something sometime. Yeah. Joffrey Castro, thank you very much for coming on. Rob and Chris are here, and we're ready to make this a great day. Let's see, Beth. There she is. I knew that Beth would be there. Jade Q, hello to you. Let's see, back around Gmail. Everyone's saying hello to everybody. Excellent. PSN Green Hulkster.
Wow.
Hello. I don't think we've met before. Thank you. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you very much. This is what I love about the show, bringing on guests. The guests sometimes bring with them their own fan base, and it's awesome. And I don't know that PSN Green Hulkster is one of your fan base, but why not?
I mean, by the end of this, we're going to find out if anyone is part of my fan base.
Wait, say, I'm supposed to have a fan base? That wasn't part of the.
No, we're all a part of the Gunners family. It's all good.
Trev the Shipping Guru, how you doing? Good. Indeed. Obviously, I know now he's east of me. If he's saying it's good afternoon, people. Let's see, Hari29, hello. Let's see, smash the like button, yes, and sub. Please do sub up, everybody. Their links are down below. Instagram handle, including for Ilsum Comics. Give him a follow if you don't. There you go. T Dubs, the Taylor Winder, a little sexy bunch. Yep, we are really old men. I think that we have now caught up. Have we not? Circumstances is here. How you doing? Yeah, I think now, if I've missed anybody, I do. Oh, Jason.
Yeah,
never
that's where I was
out.
Going. That's where I was going.
Thank you very
nice
much.
To see you, my man.
All right, I really apologize if I missed you. It was completely unintentional. Flo Dameron, hello. Thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed the new merch. I enjoy it too. All right. So, in case anybody's wondering, any of the proceeds that do come from the merch store, by the way, they're not going to line my pocket or buy new books for the wall. Those are also going. All the proceeds are donated to the C3 Comics Curing Cancer campaign, which of course is also, if you like that, you can always click the community button and find a link directly to donate. But also, if you got comics that you need to get pressed anyways. The Rogue Trader, who's the man who presses my fat stacks of comics. If you go to the roguetraderutah.com and use the code FATSTACKS, you're going to get 20% off your pressing, including his already discounted bundles. So you can get your pressing down to about $10 a book, includes cleaning, and then you can then also get enhanced cleaning and staple service, all kinds of other stuff he'll do. But $10 for every time that code is used is donated to the C3 Comics Curing Cancer campaign in partnership with the American Cancer Society. None of that money gets, like me, I don't get any free credits or anything else of that. Dedicated to the Comics Curing Cancer campaign. So thank you guys all very much. Those who do use that or purchase merch from the store and contribute that way. We'll be finding a new hopefully we'll be finding out some information soon, and we'll talk about this year's program for the Comics Curing Cancer campaign soon, hopefully. All right. That's enough of paying the bills, et cetera, et cetera. Let's talk to a man who, this is the first time that we've interacted.
Yes.
Other than me asking you to come on the show, but I've known of you for a while, not only via following you on Instagram, but also from a mutual seller that we purchased from in Flip Mode Comics.
Wow.
Right. Where I would hear your name on certain things that you're buying, and I'm usually the one that they refer to as tax that ass. Because they couldn't. My original long handle was the whole Rob's Fat Stacks of Comics, and it all ran together, and they just couldn't say it. So now they just kind of whatever. Anyways, so I've seen some of the stuff that you bought, and I was like, oh, I got to follow this guy, and then start to see stuff and say, okay, let's see if we can't get you on the show. Yes. So I'm happy to have you with us, Sunil. And again, anybody who wants to check him out, link down below. You follow him on Instagram, be great. So you're living outside of London.
Yes.
Where now is it easier or harder for you to come by? Do you think to come by comics?
It is, I think, substantially harder, and the reason for that is, and especially the books that I'm interested in. So if you're looking for,
you're not always looking at moderns. You're looking at some of the older books.
Yeah. If you're looking for modern books, then there's enough retailers that still sell modern books, and you can walk in. And actually, I'm lucky. There's a local comic shop 10 minutes from my front door on foot that I can go and buy 8 Billion Genies or Something Is Killing the Children or whatever. If you are looking to get slabbed books in the UK, there's probably only 3 or 4 dealers.
That's tough.
And the convention scene, which I think is similar to the US, you go to a comic con now, and it's maybe 5 to 10% dealers.
Okay.
And the rest of it is Funkos, movie,
right?
Signature,
other pop culture stuff.
Yeah. They're very much pop culture events. and I am at the point now where, when I think about how few dealers there are in the UK, there's a comic mart next week, and I already know what's going to be on the shelves because I know the inventory. I know everyone in the UK's inventory because I see it so regularly, and stuff doesn't move that fast. And actually, what we have seen in the sort of birth of the internet era is I can watch some of the UK buyers purchasing on Flip Mode or Elite Sales or whatever, so I know when it's going to crop up, and I also know how much it got paid for. So I might as well go to source. So the way it works for me is I have a shipping company in New Hampshire, and everything gets sent there. And then once every 45 days, it all gets bundled into one box and FedExed 48 hours back to the UK.
Oh, nice.
So, it doesn't necessarily work out cheaper, but it stops.
it may come down a little bit from the per box shipment because
it does. It does. And of course, there are some dealers that don't want to ship internationally. A lot of eBay sellers don't want to ship internationally for whatever reason. Which I
it's intimidating. The commercial invoice, I think, if you're not familiar with shipping process, is intimidating. And a lot of them that are using some of the basic shipping programs don't tell you whether or not they're covering a brokerage fee or not readily. And so it's real. So somebody's once before who's, if they're not familiar with that process and they've shipped once before to the UK or something, had to muddle through, how do I fill out this? What's an HTS code? All this other stuff. And then all of a sudden it gets to their customer and there's $100 brokerage fee on it that nobody talked about. And all of a sudden, and they're stuck trying to figure out how to pay that. That can be surprising to somebody. So Matt Spidey's in Australia. He understands. We're talking right now that he's got a book that he's shipping to me that he acquired for me, but he's got some other stuff for a giveaway. And I told him, I said, just stick the 3 in one box and ship them to me. I'll forward them domestically for you because the cost of putting those other 2 in one box to me is pennies compared to 3 individual boxes. Right. So
absolutely. So it's not that easy to find. And over the course, and we'll probably talk about this a little bit during the show, but I took a 25-year hiatus from collecting. So I collected loads as a kid, and me and my 2 best friends, we bonded over collecting comics. And then I met, girls and rock and roll, etc., etc.
Usual distractions.
All this stuff. I stopped collecting. So I stopped collecting at 13, 14. And then, because I kept those friends all my life, my very best friend at VFN Comics, he was turning 40, and he'd carried on collecting, so he knew about everything that was going on, etc. So I just did a ton of research and was like, I'm going to buy him one comic, and like a fairly substantial comic, but I had never seen a slab because it'd been so long. So then I was like, oh god, like what are these things? And like doing the research and trying to work it out and trying to work out what to get him. And I was sort of looking, and my wife said to me, she said, oh, have you found Andy's present? And I was like, yeah, I've got it. I've got this killer book. He definitely doesn't have it. He's going to love it. And she was like, why does it come in 4 boxes? And I was like, so one of those is for Andy, but the other 3 are for me. But what how have you spent more on yourself than you have on him? And I was like, yes.
That's how it should be.
Happy birthday, Andy.
Yeah, exactly. So, and actually, to be fair, his was a Thor 337 9.6 triple signed.
Ooh,
so
nice.
it is a tasty book. It is a tasty book. But all of a sudden, I realised that I had a whole bunch, and I was back home at my parents' house, and I said, I bought some comics for the first time, and my mum said, very straight-faced, well, thank God you can finally get rid of your old collection. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah, you've got like 600 comics upstairs. I was like, no. I was like, those are lost in the annals of time. Like, they don't still exist. She was like, no, there is a box upstairs with 600 comics in it. And there was.
Yes.
Complete McFarlane run on Spidey.
Yes.
Like Batman 432, like a whole bunch of Teen Titans 1 to 91, probably not as exciting. And like all of a sudden I was like, right, I've got these 4 new ones and I've got 1,000 old ones. And then it all kicked off again. And here we are like 4 years later, and the collection expanded to, I think, probably 1,500 before I sort of changed my mindset a little bit, thought about what I was trying to do, what I was trying to achieve, and it went from 1,500 back down to, and we are currently at now, I think we're at 497.
Well, that's very focused.
Yes.
Very good.
And I've always...
I don't even have that few slabs.
Yeah. So I think I'm about 100 slabs and about 400 raw, he says. I've got that number close to hand. So I've said it confidently, and I've now thought to myself,
no one here is going to know. No one's coming over to your house to count slabs or raws. So
116, 381. There we go.
I got more than that out at the grading service is waiting to come home. But
stop it.
But it's not a measuring contest.
No,
It's what's important, what's nice to you, and what you like to do. So hey, let's get into some of these tasty morsels.
Yes, and I've just realised that, Rob, I should have asked you a question, which has become, I think, abundantly clear. Am I allowed to show raw books?
No, this is only slabs.
Only slabs.
Well done, sir.
There is a clue in the name. so I'm just
even the old name that I invited, even the old name that I invited you under was the SlabHub.
I'm going to show it just because now I've got.
Yeah.
It was the first book I ever owned.
Well, fair
very
enough.
good.
All right. Well, hold on,
Get that
and
slabbed.
let's. You can talk about the first book you ever owned that's raw. I'll let you.
Yeah.
I'll deviate. You get an exception because the language barrier between English and American English.
It was the concentration was the problem. So Superman 23 bought off the newsstand in November '88, so I would have been 8 years old.
In 88. Okay, yes, I am older than you.
It just absolutely.
You can't be my daddy.
It just grabbed me. Like, it just absolutely, I saw it and I was like, what the hell is this? Like, why are they fighting between this guy? And actually, the issue's based in Ireland.
That's right. Taylor doesn't know what to do now. The new show has no rules.
Anarchy. It's anarchy. Right. I'm going to take it off the screen very quickly. But I had
appropriately that anarchy is coming from the UK, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well done, Rob. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Throw it out there for the punk fans out there. Yes.
Yeah,
that's a good reference.
A band can make it successful just playing 3 chords. Well done. Okay, let's go.
It worked for the White Stripes.
Right. So let's get into first book. My collection is predominantly Silver Age. I've got very, very little Bronze Age. A couple of nice bits, but very little Bronze Age. Virtually no modern. I've got like a run of Something Is Killing the Children that I've read that I actually don't think they're even like really in the collection. Like, I think I've just read them, and at some point they'll get sold to somebody.
Right.
So the only really modern book I've got that I care about is this one.
Oh, Bone.
Nice.
And I have to say, I in that reduction from 1,500 books to 500, I sold a lot of stuff. And one of the books I sold was an 8.5 Bone 1. And literally, as the guy was picking it up, and it was the complete run, all first prints, 1 to 55. As soon as he picked it up, as soon as he arrived in the house, I regretted it. and I'm really conscious of it, like, not to regret things you sell. Don't worry about whether you sold it cheap or more or whatever. You can get over the top about this stuff. So I'm like, don't regret anything. It's all just part of the journey. It's part of the evolution. But as soon as it left my house, I was heartbroken. So for ages, I hunted for another one, and I won on like a Facebook raffle. I won an 8.0, and it arrived, and I was like, brilliant! I've scratched the itch. I've got the 8.0, and as soon as it arrived, I was like, but it's worse than the 8.5 I had. and I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I sold the 8.0, and I bought this. This is one of those things where every comic collector watching would have said to me, don't do it. eBay seller, 2 ratings, 2 items on sale. This and a pair of second-hand Levi's.
Oh.
I like Levi's.
Yeah, I like Levi's. They weren't in great nick. I don't think they sold. I think this was $4,150. And I think, and I could be wrong on this, I bought this about 14 months ago. I think it's still the highest GPA sale. Because there's so few of them that move in this grade. I think I've got the all-time record. And that's, for me, that's not a record you want. You don't want the GPA record high on a book. But I think I've got the high and the last sale on it. And it's one of those ones where oftentimes I think, oh, God, will somebody else just...
A 9.4, the last sale of record, was on April 13th, 2020 for $1,500.
Oh. Then they haven't included...
First printing...
Or, sorry, let me rephrase this. So I am looking through a third-party site that tracks us. I'm using Go Collect. Take a look at it, and it's showing 1,500 on, and then before that there was an 1,850 US dollars in October on eBay of 2019.
Yeah, I'm just so actually on GPA, it's got this one, which is 9001 as the last sale, $4,100, May 2021.
All right. Well, yeah, it's definitely not this one.
And it hasn't moved. And the one above, the 9.6, last sale is $9,000. So, like, I don't think it's a $4,000 book anymore. Like, I think it's
right. The FMV lists it at 7,000, and because the 9.6s have sold recently as high as $9,000 on Heritage, and then 7,500 on eBay and whatnot.
And it was just a ghost of a book to find.
That's the one thing I learned during the lockdown is how many people were a fan of Jeff Smith's Bone, number one, how many printings there were, and how damn rare the book was to begin with, especially in a decent grade, like a high-end grade. It's incredibly rare. And boom.
Well, there's a lot of copies.
I had no idea. But yeah, the first print is...
Yeah, that first print is
it really is a grail book. So
and
good for you,
cover is just unforgiving. It's so hard to get it into a grade because that black wasn't a significantly great publisher or printer or anything like that. So it's just very, very hard to get that book. And that's basically the only modern book I've got. And every so often I think about, like, you know, should I I missed the opportunity to say I'll start the show by getting my bone out.
Well, hey, you sometimes got to whip it out. Make sure you say, this is what I got.
That's a pretty healthy looking bone.
Now,
good for you.
It is protected because it's important that you do that.
I mean, I've got raw as well, but that's separate.
Those are subsequent printings. They don't matter.
Yeah, they don't matter. So every so often I think to myself, I should get rid of it. I should just clear everything out and be like, right, nothing post 1969. Just like cut off. Like we don't even have 70.
But if you do that, since you've already got rid of the 8.5 and had to get yourself an 8, that has to I needed a 9.4. That means if you get rid of this one, you're gonna have to buy a 9.8 or nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're gonna have to sell your house and live under the London Bridge or something, just to be able to. But you'll have that book in a 9.8.
Yeah,
and so there's that.
And there's definitely a part of me that would always want to hunt the 9.6. I think the 9.8 is out of reach, but if a 9.6 came up, I would definitely have a little look at it.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's see. So 9.6, at least there's 47 on census compared to the 9.4, which only has 48. So there's only one less on census.
Yeah.
But that 9.8, there's 17 on census.
Oh my goodness.
At an FMV of about right now, they're listing at 25,000.
Oh my wow!
I actually think that might be a rare book. And there's no evidence for this because I've never looked it up. It might be a rare book where there are more CBCS copies, because Jeff Smith is a prolific signer, a really prolific signer. So I think there probably will be a lot of authenticated signature books.
Well, now you're going to make me go and look to the CBCS website.
I mean,
check their census.
I've never found that thing particularly easy to use.
No, their census is rather piss poor. If you can even figure out where
at least they have a census now. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a look at the second book while Rob.
I'll try to look
scouring the internet with this.
Well, I'll try to figure out where the hell it is. I mean,
so there's a couple of characters that are going to come up more than once across the slabs we're showing tonight, and those two characters are Captain America and Superman. I'm going to space them out a little bit so that people don't get bored. Otherwise, you're going to get like this wall of Superman books. So this cover, and one of the things, and Rob, you asked this so nicely at the beginning of the show about availability. One of the things with limited availability and growing up in a pre-internet era is that you just didn't physically see things. So there are books that I had never, ever seen that when I came back to collecting, I was like, I remember seeing that once on the back wall at a point where I had like £3 in my pocket and that book was £50. and I could never look at it, and I didn't buy books off the wall. And one of those was Captain America 100. And this
9.0. Oh my goodness!
And the other thing with this is, and this is why I wanted to talk about this on this show of all shows. There are 2 slab decisions I've made which are literally stupid. This is one of them. I decided that I would collect Captain America 100 to 117 in 9.0 or higher, white pages only.
Oh, the white pages. That's a proper offer. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's like Chris and I who decided we were going to collect, the first 100 Spider-Man books, and or me go and him go first 50 slabbed, and me going, I'm going to slab all 100. Yeah, that's just painful.
It's really, really painful because a lot of them are cream to off-white.
Yeah.
And I have all 17. So I've got 100 to 117, all in 9.0 or higher.
Now it's page quality you're after, huh?
Now it's page quality. And this one is exactly the reason why you don't do stuff like this. So this is a 9.0 white pager. I sold my 9.0 cream to off-white. And I actually sold it for more money than I bought the white pager.
Yes.
But here's the thing. This is a very lucky grade.
Oh,
This is, like, when I got this, and actually props to the seller, Bucky's Books.
it was graded at Friday at 4:00.
Yeah, like
Monday morning, 7:30.
It's got, you won't be able to see it on this, but it's got a color breaking there. It's got a couple little tiny spine bits. The other one was nicer, but just having that white pager.
But if that's all that, if it's 3 little minor spine ticks or less than an eighth of an inch or less, or what is that, like half a centimeter? I don't know.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else, then a 9.0 is a fair grade for it potentially. Yeah. So it just doesn't look as nice because of that's what we always talk about on this show. All grades are not created equal. There's other elements of it that go along.
Absolutely.
That's actually not an easy book to grade either, with the color scheme and wow. 9.0.
Before we move to the next book, I'll finish off that last hanging inquiry we had. So no, on a CBCS, there are not a lot showing up in the population report. If you're looking at high grades or even low grades, but for the first edition, there's one. It's hard to tell because one of their things doesn't say what edition is, but the others I can figure out. And it looks like there's only maybe a handful, half a dozen or less that are. I think a lot more of them that are just like unassigned, and more in the second printing is a popular one for that.
Yeah, it's because people don't know the difference.
Well, they don't know, or if they have that first edition, they don't want to risk anything on it, and so they're the second printings. That's what subsequent printings are great for, is having signatures done on them and having remarks and all the other things that
So after the Cap 100 was acquired, and I got and somebody just mentioned it, Mad Spidey's, that he couldn't find a raw one. I did get a raw one that I then graded, and it came back. I think it came back as 6.5 that then I sold and eventually got this one. But it was a gateway drug. Like that Cap America 100 is important. It is a key book, but it's kind of not a key at the same time. Like in my mind, it's an iconic cover, but it's kind of a minor key. Like the first of a continuing series is not quite as important as a first appearance. In the same way that Spidey 1 is like obviously hugely important.
Right, but it's no AF-15, right? Yeah.
And there's a big
That's right. That's why Chris is always sad all the time, because he only has the Spider-Man 1 and he doesn't have the AF-15 yet.
Keyword.
Yeah. So of course, once you've got the Cap America 100, you start thinking,
Avengers.
Yeah, like there's Tales of Suspense 99 all the way back to 50. No.
It's just time to go Golden Age Schomburg. Let's go.
Not quite that bad. So instead,
yes.
Which is 8.0. It's cream to off-white, and actually, you don't find this in better page quality often. It does exist.
Oh my sweet Jesus! Look at that.
But that one was again like super iconic because that's the one you see reprinted. If you're growing up in the 90s, you would see it reprinted. You would see the cover in different places, and you'd be like, that to me is such an iconic cover. And one that I was just absolutely thrilled to own that and like have that in my collection has been an absolute thrill.
Absolutely.
So after saying I wasn't going to do all the caps at once, there's only one left, so I should do it.
That way you can push America off out of the way.
Yeah.
Put us back in the corner and say, "Yeah, guys, go cause trouble."
I think I've got 3 signature books I'm going to show you. I don't quest for them. Like, I think there's something about if you stand at a Comic-Con and you meet Todd McFarlane and he signs your book, I think that's an experience you want to remember. Whereas buying it secondhand to me is not quite as exciting.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool, but it's not quite as exciting. Unless, of course, it's very, very cool. If it's very, very cool, I can make an exception. So this came up, and bearing in mind that quest for 9+ Cap America 100 to 117 white pages. When I saw this pop up, I was like, there cannot be many of these. That is 109.
Yeah! Yeah!
There's Remy. Oh my! And the signature placement is perfect. Incredible.
And let's be honest. We all love Stan,
right?
But the placement's not always the best,
or the signature itself, and that's perfect. That's perfect. My God, in a 9.6,
it's one that I would love to re-case because it's an old case. But I haven't got the guts. I just haven't got the guts to send this to CGC and they do something mental, like slap it up and down, or like it comes back at 2. Or something
they don't put it in there right, and they crush the freaking corner of the book, and
the thought of doing it just terrifies me.
I understand, and because I am a signature guy, even if I'm not the one who gets it, and so it's kind of funny you bring this up because I did want to mention this to some people that CGC is going to have an in-house signing coming up that is potentially the last signing that this creator has said he's going to do, and that's Paul Dini from Batman Adventures fame and everything else. Well, obviously I got my Batman Adventures 12 that's sitting there because he's one of the co-creators of Harley Quinn, and I sit there and go like, I'd love to get that book signed, but at the same time, with the where that value is on that book and stuff now, I've been silly and I've cracked books that, like I've recently did my Ultimate Fallout 4 where I've cracked it and sent it in. But I just can't bring myself to do that one. Fortunately, I happen to have some various Comic-Con subsequent printings, reprints of it, including one that's already signed by Bruce Timm.
Nice.
That one will go in. I'll get the Paul Dini Bruce Timm.
That's very cool.
Combo, but yeah, I mean, there's some books I could do it, but some books you just said, and like that, you said that on that one.
Yeah.
Maybe if they were closer and you weren't shipping it internationally too.
Yeah. It strikes fear into my heart.
Yeah.
My very very good friend Tim, he sent in. He's got 2 ASM 238s. One is a 9.6 direct, and the other is a 9.4 newsstand double signed. Did you see this?
No, but I just, as soon as you said direct and the others of this, I know newsstand. Sorry.
So he sent those 2 books to get reholdered with the Hobgoblin custom label.
Right.
Very cool. And 7-8 weeks later, he received 2 books back, a unsigned 9.2 direct and an ASM 252.
It's not even his book.
Wow.
Oh,
2 completely different books. And Tim, he's a really nice guy, like Heartbroken. It's his favorite book, iconic, double signed 9.4. It's hard to replace.
Right.
Called CGC, very formal. This won't stand. You're going to have to sort this out. And then lo and behold, maybe a day later, maybe 36 hours, some guy on Facebook posted up, listen, these are not my books. And they've come back. And I sent in a 252 and I've got these back. And it would just be morally wrong to not try. And if no one steps forward, I'll keep these books. Let me get out there and say, these 2 books have arrived. I think they're somebody else's. Do you want to step forward? And Tim was on it in a second.
I've got yours.
Because of course he had the slips and he had the photos and
Right.
everything, and he could prove it was his, and they both reunited. But just that moment of just thinking,
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So reholdering books strikes fear into my heart. There's a few we're going to see that will involve reholding. While we're talking signed, this is not a valuable book. I think if we looked on GPA, this is probably a $35 book if we're lucky. But this is one of my personal favourites. Very much a minor key. New Teen Titans 39. In a 9.2, this is the last Dick Grayson Robin, the last Kid Flash. But look at the placement of the 2 signatures. Just absolutely perfect on that cover. Because
And whose signatures do you have
Oh,
here?
so Mark Wolfman at the top, George Perez.
Mm-hmm.
Which, of course, there's so many more of those coming down the pipeline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, and there was a part of me that thought about sending it in to get it reslabbed with the Perez.
With the Perez label. But yeah.
Yeah, which would have been cool, but at the same time, it's like there's a point where you don't mess with it. There's a point where you just go, just leave it be.
Yeah.
One of my favorite issues as a kid. This wasn't my copy, but this came up really cheap, and actually for the 2 sigs.
Yeah.
And the placement there is like,
Yeah.
like,
Exactly.
Now, Chris mentioned Stan doesn't always get it right. He did not get this one right. This is an ugly signature.
Oh,
It's very
Yeah.
messy.
Oh,
yeah,
Pen
right,
isn't
yeah.
clean. It's not a clean lead.
I don't think he did very good with those paint markers.
Yeah, he kind of went for the family jewels there too out of Wakanda. That's
He did. Because quite often you find it's almost a little bit diagonal as well, which is even worse when it's diagonal.
Oh, he's writing at us.
Yeah. So the thing I like about it, it's the custom label, 6.5. Here's the thing I really love about this. It's a UK variant. 10D.
Oh, nice.
nice.
So this was signed, someone just asked in the chat, this was signed 24th of July 2016.
Okay.
So it's a cream to off-white. But because it's a UK copy, this is the joint highest graded on the census.
Wow.
When you start splitting those hairs,
Yeah.
eventually you get down to the...
Yeah, you get down to real rarity, which is how many UK copies are there slabbed? How many Stan ones are there slabbed? There's 2. And actually, the census draws out 2. I don't know the other one is Stan. The other one could be Joe. I mean, it could be Tom McFarlane. I mean, it could be Chadwick Boseman. I don't know who it is. But there are only 2 signed in a 6.5, and everything else is lower. So for me, there's a bit of a novelty factor, as a bit of a rarity. I love this. I have real affection for it because, like, it doesn't get better than that. At some point, if I had more money in my pocket, I would love a matching 6.5 cents copy. But I do genuinely love this one.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh,
I think it's very, very cool. Right, next up, and I've tried to pick books with a little bit of a story to them. We all live in a sort of claim era, and Digger Jim 720 just tried to claim the last book.
He does that.
You're used to sitting on flip mode and shouting, claim or whatnot, or all these things. And it happens on eBay, and the buy it now, and it happens on Facebook with the first person to comment. I saw a book come up at 8:20 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and I looked at it and I was like, that price is so fire. I'm going to go one step further than writing claim. I PayPal'd the money.
Just baller status.
It was £275, which is about $350 currently. $350. I just sent the money, and there were like a bunch of people underneath. PM sent, DM sent, PM sent. I just wrote underneath, I've already sent you the money.
People send all these PMs because they're trying to get it for even less, and you're just like, oh,
check your
You
account.
idiot.
It's already there.
Described as a fine copy, and it is a fine copy. I present to you a $350 raw, which I then slabbed myself.
Oh yeah. Now, how
Oh,
long
man.
ago was this?
2 years.
Okay, that's what about a $3,000 book? Yeah, that's just 2 books missing from my ASM collection. That's one. The other is the AF-15. And yeah, I came this close to working out a trade for that book. In the end, I got ASM 2. But my goodness, it was not a 6.0, let me tell you. That's got to be one of the cleanest copies I think I've ever seen in my life. That from where I am, from my vantage point, that I would say, if you, Sunil, if you hit the grade, I would say 7.5, and I think I'd be kind of lowballing it just by looking at it from here.
The reason it's dropped is there's actually a tiny little tear just about here.
Yeah, marble chipping and all that. Yeah.
Actually, now I'm holding it in front of you and thinking about the date. I don't think this was pressed because I don't think I knew about pressing at that stage.
Well, still, that book's sitting right now. Average sales this year, $3,500 US. I think factor of 10 investment is pretty good.
Yeah, that's a big boy book, and
yeah,
I don't want to say you kind of robbed them or raped them, but my goodness, sir, what a story!
Hey, they post it, you know, and so sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. I mean, I almost darn near pulled the same thing with that book that Mad Spidey found for me, but except that I made him do the research because it was just too good to be true. That it set off too many red flags.
Super claim.
You know, but the second he did he found somebody who would vouch for the person. We were like, oh, the money's on the way. I mean,
so with that in mind, and I don't know whether either of you ever do it. The sort of the Instagram or Facebook, the raffles.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally.
I have to admit, I do quite enjoy it, and I'm lucky enough to have won some incredible books. And I've got a spreadsheet,
nice,
that shows if I'm up or down, and I am so far up that I quit them all. I exited all the groups because I was like, you know what, you're at a point now where I was.
It's going to come back around.
Yeah.
You know, the pendulum swings.
Of course. Coming back to GPA, I was, probably about $20,000 up. And part of the reason that I was $20,000 up is this one book that I'm going to show next.
All right, hold on.
I work my shoulders.
All right.
Not as good as they used to be.
That's right. We're ready. Hit me with it.
I saw this book, and exactly as you just described, Rob, when there's a little thing in your mind that's like, those numbers aren't right. So the maths on these raffles, if you've never played, is the owner of the book puts it up, and then they put 20% on top of GPA. And then the good ones use that 20% to offer deals or offer a discount or something cool. The greedy ones just take the extra 20%. They sell their book for 120%. It is what it is. That's the game. I saw this book come up, and it had the plus 20% on it. And I thought to myself, I think they've read the GPA wrong. That GPA seems wrong to me. And I went on GPA and I looked, and the last sale on that book was a year ago.
Oh,
so
yeah.
The grade above, the 5.0, was double the price. And the grades below, the 4, the 3.5, the 3, and the 2.5 were all higher than his 120% of GPA.
And this is what we've talked about in the past, especially when we talk about golden age and older books, silver age books, even some of them, when they just don't move that much and there's not a lot of them.
Be careful.
That data is only as good as the age of the data, and you have to look at the grander thing.
Yeah,
now.
And I completely agree with you. It's the age of the data, but it's also the analyst. It's also the person reading the data. And if you can't read data, you make a mistake and you put up a fantastic 4 or 5 for $5,000.
Jesus Christ.
So I saw it.
Hold on, he needs to make another appearance.
Oh.
Hey, Remy to the floor.
Yeah! Yeah! I can't even believe what I just heard.
So I saw it, and I claimed every spot. I just said, I'll take
that is another baller move. I love it.
I'll take them all.
Shut down. I'll take them all. And the guy was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yep, I'll take all."
I'm buying the book.
And because of the rules of the group, they still ran it.
So you still to generate your name and everything.
They had 1 to 20. It was me. And honestly, Chris, I tell you this, I watched the video and I was nervous.
Oh man.
And just in case anybody doesn't know right now, the FMV on this book, which is below the actual sales, FMV is at 11,500.
Oh my god!
With actual sales this year between 12 and a half to $13,500.
Yeah.
So,
oh my god!
I think by the time we get to a casting on this will be 15 to 16.
Oh yeah, arguably the greatest villain in Marvel Comics. Like Stan Lee's favorite, he always says his favorite character is Doctor Doom.
5K right now gets you a 1.0 to a 1.5.
Mic drop. That's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you do. You just buy all the spots.
All the spots. All the spots.
There's been times I've thought about that when there's like a certain book that's up that you're really into and you're like, oh, okay, that adds up to be at a fair price.
These are great stories that kick off.
But when it's an awesome price, it's like, yeah, exactly.
Just take
great stories. Great stories.
Here, take my money, please.
Yeah, and actually, I've got to admit, like, I was nervous the guy was going to be like, "Oh, I've changed my mind," or like, "Oh, this or that," but like, he did it. So the next one is a slightly contentious one, and I'm not going to say any names because I don't want to offend anyone, and I don't want anyone to get mad at me. But by the way. one of the perils of our instant age is that you do see people in claim sales going wild. And I quite often see people and I think, I wonder if that person's going to pay up. And I remember very early on in an elite sale, I mean, this would have been like 2.5, 3 years ago, Kay Kinzer turned up and dropped maybe $35,000, $40,000 in a really, really short space of time. And Ali was smart enough that he was like, we're gonna take a break and I'm going to DM you and we're going to settle up. We're going to just check that you're good for the money because you're claiming a lot here. and the guy's like very legit, like super legit. And there was loads of reasons why he was spending.
Bitcoin was going through the roof at the time.
And he was super legit. But there was a falling out between a seller and a buyer maybe about a year ago. And they happen all the time. But someone basically got pissed. They were like, you agreed a book, you claimed it, you haven't paid up. I see you all over town claiming books. Like, please just pay up on what you owe so I can ship you a book.
I especially see them when people will go on payment plans a lot of times too, right? Where you go on somebody goes on payment plan, they make the first payment, maybe the deposit, and then that's it. And then
So that's exactly what happened with this next book. Somebody went on a payment plan for the book, dropped their 20%, and then just didn't pay up. And it became a battle, and it was 4 or 5 months, and all the screenshots were leaked, and everyone called each other names and all this.
Right.
And I was looking at the drama, and I was focusing on like this argument about like, if you've agreed something, when do you have to pay it off, and looking at the details. And then all of a sudden I was like, I think people are focusing on the wrong thing here. What's the book that the argument is about? And I looked at the book and I was like, we're so focused on who's in the right and who's in the wrong. Who owns this book right now? So I contacted the seller and I was like, you've got 20% down on this book, and this book is now a nightmare for you. And they were like, yes, agreed. I was like, if I give you the other 80%, will you give me that book today? They were like, if you can PayPal me the other 80%, you can have that book. I want it out of my house today. So I did. 80%, less than 100%, which was maybe a little bit over, but it was an okay price.
Oh my goodness!
Which issues this?
That's an iconic cover too.
Like, I can't say issue number. This is issue 2.
Mm-hmm. Number 2.
Well, we can't run Remy that close to each other, but I think that's like really showing off your meat.
It's got tape on cover and interior cover. DC Comics, fall 1939.
Sunil, can you read what's on the right side of that blue label there?
Full page ad for 1939, New York's World Fair Comics.
Just that is by far the earliest Superman that's ever been on.
You think it might be the earliest one we ever have on this show?
Yeah.
Well, we could get to some Action Comics, I suppose, but Superman title, obviously, unless somebody brings a number, unless somebody brings on Superman 1, there ain't going to be anything.
Yeah, that's...
Well, you say that, Rob. You said that, but here's the reality.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh, that Canadian kid. That
I hope that Mark right now is at home. He's buckled in, and he's got his his dry fit pants because he's gonna need or a diaper or something.
So this is July 1939 cover date, but actually March 1939, number 14. It's the second Zatara cover. It's obviously not a Superman cover,
right?
But he is here, which is not on a lot of them. That's Action Comics 14 in a 3.5 cream to off-white pages.
A 3.5.
My God! Just to put this in perspective for everyone that's watching, this is a few months before the beginning of the Second World War. Like Second World War was September 1939. This book is older even than that, or either older than that. And a 3.5. I gotta walk away.
Chris, this is the beginning. This is only months.
Crap.
Chris, this is only months into the beginning of the Golden Age.
Oh my God!
Because the Golden Age begins.
Superman breaking the chain,
because the Golden Age begins with Action Comics.
Now, Sunil, does it have Siegel and Schuster as a creative team for the Superman story that's there?
It's not. It's Siegel stories.
Okay.
It's not Schuster on that art in that one.
Wow.
Now, surprisingly, and now this is where things get really weird, right? Is this age of books, and given the number of books we're talking about, there are 37 copies in total, blue label, right? 58 total copies on the census. 18 of them are restored. 37 are blue label. When you go to try to value based on sales, it's really more of who's willing to pay what at that time. Because you see a book like this and you would think that this should be a massive, massive book. And it is a big book, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But the last copy sold June 20th of 2022 for $2,700. Just over $2,700.
That's this one.
Now,
yeah, this is one from Heritage Auction.
A 4.0 would run about 4,000.
Jim, I believe you said issue 14.
14.
Yeah, issue 14.
Yeah.
So okay, let's just do it. Let's put Sunil, if you wouldn't mind putting the two books together. Did Superman have his own comic book title by the time that one came out?
So 14 predates Superman 1.
Oh my! So this is literally just the 14th appearance of the Man of Steel. That is incredible.
And Superman 1, 2, and 3 are all reprints.
Right, of Action Comics. Right.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's the first superhero solo title, but they're all reprint issues. 4 is when the new stories kick off. So I created a little bit of a mission for myself.
I'm going to start smoking again now.
Yeah, I need a cigar.
I created a bit of a mission for myself to collect all the 1940s Superman books. So not action. not action, just Superman, which was 4 to 61, which is nightmarish.
Well, you got so many iconic covers, like including the eagle. Yeah.
Yes. So the eagle has landed definitely. Yeah. I'd have done it, but in doing it, I also picked up 2 and 3.
Oh my!
So now I'm in the hole because now one was a glaring error.
Right. that's been my mistake too with like my bat. I said, oh, I'm only gonna do bat. I'm not worried about Detective Comics other than the modern I've been doing, but I'm gonna do my Batman down, and I figured, oh, I'll go down to like 200, and that's a nice place to stop because below that they start getting more expensive and quality starts getting harder to get the quality I want. And then next thing you know, 6 months I go, oh, how do I have these 148 and 152 and what? I've got more than a dozen one below 200. That means now I have to go down to the lowest number, right?
Yeah.
Before we go any further, because we are about an hour into this, let's go ahead and if it's all right with you, we do our first giveaway.
Yes.
And so I think nothing better. We might as well just do it. Let's just say that for this, let's take, let me share my screen, my window. Go ahead and hit that hashtag Superman. We might as well. And go ahead and hit that in there. And we will then go ahead and do our giveaway. We'll pull some books and see if somebody doesn't pull a slab or something else so that they get and go from there. In the meantime, Chris, what you got coming up? Yes, Remy, by all means, I would love to have a variety of clips from actually even other community members doing different things. So by all means, I do want that squeaky hammer, though, one that we talked about, Remy, where you do the same thing, but instead of the big Thor hammer, it's just like a squeaky
I think
clown hammer.
He's got one from this week where I popped in, or maybe last night he popped on, where I popped on his channel with him and his lovely wife, and he just started pulling comic vet magnets out of the side of the screen. I'm like, that'd be great when I start laughing. But anyways, I just dropped a brand new Walmart video where I hit a massive modern. I can't compare myself now with Sunil here, but you
just said modern.
Yeah, a massive modern book that came out in the last couple of years, and I was happy to get it. So everyone, if you have a few moments after this fantastic premiere show, check out that Walmart video. Tomorrow I'll be doing 2 cool guys swap picks, and Monday I'm hoping to finally record that Amazing Fantasy 15 mystery box. And actually from We Got Issues, that's over in Ireland. And so that's what I got coming up on Wednesday. Also, I'll be having a new comic book day hangout. But yeah, thanks, Rob.
Yeah, well, no worries. Hey, so everybody, yes, by all means, keep on watching what we got going on next. Obviously Monday we'll have mail call. I don't remember what's in this. I recorded it. And it's a variant mail call. I haven't done a variant mail call in a long time, because I was off the variant kick for quite some bit. But there is a variant mail call. And then we'll get back into some normal stuff, open some boxes. And of course, next week, guys, Man Cave Comics makes his return to the show, his first appearance on OnlySlabs. So we're, like I said, it's the same show, just a different name. All right, we've given everybody some time here to enter that Superman. We got 25 out of 31 viewers here. So let's go ahead, everybody together with me. Again, shipping of these books include the U.S. and Canada. Outside there, we'll talk about just the difference in shipping costs. So I'm not here to mess anybody up completely, but they're free books. All right, let's reel together, everybody. Wheel of Fish. And our winner is, thank you for that on-time delivery, Chris. Kenneth Bird. Congratulations.
Mr. Bird.
Yes, all right. So let's go ahead and find what we're going to do. So here, Sunil, you're going to help pick books for Kenneth. And what you're going to do is we're going to pick 6 books, and then we'll reveal them. We may get some of these have things to say extra books, in which case we'll pull extra books. But what you're going to do is you're going to either give me a number of books from the front, a number from the back, or we'll do back to front action, and you'll just tell me when to stop.
Let's do the last of those options.
All right. Well, you can mix it up. You can do a little, but you can do column A, B, and C. But all right, so we'll start. Right? Yeah, we'll just back to front. Okay. You just tell me when to stop. Stop here. Okay. Do you want the book in front of, behind my finger, or both?
Behind.
Okay. All right.
Stop.
Okay.
In
front.
Stop. In front. Stop. In front and behind.
Okay, both. Excellent. Let me see how many we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, one more.
More.
We'll go front to back this time.
Okay. Stop. In front.
All right. Put this off to the side. Kenneth, let's see what you get. First book up. How about Avengers #7 with that red Hulk?
Ooh. Very
Congratulations.
Ooh. The Forearms from Hell. Look at that one.
How about Monkey Prince #1 signed by Bernard Chang?
That's
Nice.
cool.
Nice.
Good placement as well.
Yeah, it's actually a great story.
I haven't read it. Don't know that one.
The Incredible Hulk 318.
Yes, John Byrne work. I can tell that right from here.
Batman Beyond 44 from the 6th volume of
Nice.
Batman Beyond, which is the one right before the current Nero, whatever the hell they're called. Neo
Zero
year.
year?
Whatever. Neo
Mhm.
year. Spider-Man Legacy of Evil.
I think I sent you that book.
It doesn't say free comic vet stuff on it, so probably not.
Okay.
And last book up. How about a Shannon Mayer Punchline #1?
That's cool.
Wow.
These are nice books. She rented myself.
Yeah, we don't give away crap.
You have no idea, Mark. You have no idea.
It's like some genuine mystery box quality books, you know. Yeah, there's a couple fillers and a couple good books and some nice stuff, and there we go. I mean, hell, yesterday somebody pulled a Batman 181 out of here. Now, granted, it was a facsimile, but you know, what are you gonna do? You can't expect me to give away a Batman 181.
Or a Daredevil, or a Hulk.
All right. Yeah. So let's get back into it. We got ourselves some time still remaining on the clock. Get through some more books. And yes, Mark from Legion of Comics show up. He heard he was missing on some Superman books. Don't worry. Only the appetizer had been served thus far. Sunil has just a handful of Superman slabs as he led off with. So
yeah, there's definitely more Superman. Whether we've seen the best ones is debate. So I want to get into some non-key books because I think otherwise it becomes a bit showy. This is one that I saw as a kid in a like a book about comics, and I've literally never ever seen a raw one. I've only ever seen one slabbed one, and the one slabbed one I bought, and I've never seen it since. Like it's like as far as I know, this is like
setup.
Genuinely a ghost book. This came from Golden Age Guru. He was at a convention. He was live from the show floor. It was Graham Crackers, actually. Jeff was at Graham Crackers' stand, and they found this and did a great price on it. But really, they could have said any number, and I was going to buy it because I've never seen it. Action Comics 89. It's just a mad cover.
I've never seen that book before in my life.
1945. Never seen it before. Never seen it since.
Yeah, 19. Well, and you're never gonna sit. All right, now I'm curious. I got to see what it is on the what the census is on this book.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever looked.
Action Comics 75, you said?
89.
In a 7.0 from 1945.
I don't even care about the grade is ridiculous to begin with, but I'm just curious what the census is. And come on, slide over. There are 69 total graded books on census, 56 universal, and the remaining are restored books.
And according to GPA, there's only been 2 copies sold in the last year.
One was a 9.4.
Yes, Promise Collection, 9.4.
Oh, Jesus.
So I bid on that one. I didn't win it.
Which, in case you guys are wondering, was a $10,000 plus sale. But
oh my goodness,
yeah. And this was bought solely because I've never seen it. Absolutely wild cover, and I just think it's like an absolutely iconic cover that you just don't see that often.
The other one sold this year, guys. In case you're wondering, was a 2.0. So there was it was completely opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. And And part of it is because sometimes you see these books, and this similarly, you don't see this one often. When it comes up, you have to grab it because these books were never loved. So this is the world's finest. And these books weren't as loved as the individual solo titles, so they just end up being trashed. They're also square bound and just didn't stand the test of time as much. But I would pay money for DC to do me wallpaper of that.
Or make gift wrap, or make a polo or bowling shirt or something.
It's so wonderfully camp.
Boxer shorts.
Dude, all those early World's Finest are the greatest because they are that. The camp value is through the roof.
That's 37. It's a 5.0 off-white pages.
Oh my god. Wow.
And I just think those two are just like, they're not big key books. Yes. Brilliant.
This is 34.
Love
this type of silly stuff, right? And this is a 6.0 white pages.
Yeah.
White pages.
Yeah, I bought this one raw from an online retailer called Nucadia that's just got warehouses full of stuff. And when they had a coupon, it was like 50% off all DC books. I was going through their stuff and I found it in their guide with their roughly, they had it rated as like a fine. And I'm like, oh, let's see, with the 50% off coupon, that was going to bring it down to like, I was like, yeah, I'll buy that. And then when I sent it in, it came back 6.0 white pages. I was like, oh, you're insane. But yeah, these are all like that. They're great books. You got a couple, Chris, right? The early World's Finest?
Yeah, one was can I even get to it? Let's see. World's Finest.
Chris has got a billion things at the side. Usually they're like in holsters at the side of his desk, so you can pull them out. Quick draw. Anyways, we'll get to Chris here.
So carrying on, because Rob, I'm not sure how much time we've got left. How much time have we got?
Well, we'll probably run like another. Let's see, we start another 15, 20. We'll run to the top of the hour at least.
Perfect. Okay.
So no, it's a lot later for you.
Oh, no, it's fine for me. So I'm sure when you have guys on this, there are people that are very much that 9.8 or bust.
Right.
Like, you know, it's got to be 9.8. It's got to be white pages. Otherwise, I'm not interested.
A little bit of his headphones on.
And because of the books I collect of silver and gold, it's impossible. Like 9.8, like I would have to sell my entire collection to get a random 9.8. Chris, shows what you got.
So mine's a 42. Mine was gifted to me from Paul Cook, Sector 2815, out of the kindness of his heart after showing this book on the show that we used to have. But this is World's Finest 42. The first mashup of a cowboy and superheroes, and this was a book that my father and I used to talk about that he had once upon a time, and Paul was kind enough to send me his copy. Yeah, in a 4.5 cream to off white from 1949. And yeah, the cool thing is that it's actually, this book was September 1949, right when my father was born, September 1949.
That's cool.
So, yeah, very cool.
Yeah, wow. Love that. So, Chris, you just missed it. I was just saying that I'm sure we get a lot of people on the show that talk about the sort of 9.8 or bust, especially when they're talking about modern books. I don't have modern books, so 9.8s are out of the question, except I have 5 9.8 white pages, and they're all the same. So they're all of one thing, which was when I was a kid and I was growing up. I mentioned Andy earlier, VFN Comics on Instagram. He loved X-Men. I love New Teen Titans. Only one of us did well out of that financially. It wasn't me. But it does mean that I've got 5 New Teen Titans books in 9.8 white pages, including
there you go.
26.
Oh, yes.
So I've got this New Teen Titans 1, New Teen Titans 2, which is the first Deathstroke, Tales of the Teen Titans 44, first Nightwing, and then New Teen Titans Volume 2, number 1, which is, you know, a sort of throwaway, nothing-y book. But 9.8 white pager. As a kid growing up, I had the 15 pence UK variant of it that I read to death. Absolutely read it to death. I must have read it 1,000 times. I'm sort of slightly sad that I don't have my original copy, but this is a beauty.
So Now, were you only new Teen Titans, or now that you're a silver collector, have you gone back and gotten some of those OG Teen Titans, or should I just shut up and wait for my turn and not get ahead of myself?
This book, Rob?
You know, hold 1 second, caller.
Thank you for holding. We'll be with you momentarily.
Sorry.
That's all right. You know what? I know that we're. Yes, there we go. There we go.
There it is. A kid flash.
I was hoping you were going to show that first Teen Titans because we need to keep pushing that. It's probably coming up on one of the most shown books at this point on this show, or in the history of the evolution of this show, going back to the previous name. And we're just waiting for Chris to finally go, God damn it, and go buy one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I talked a little bit earlier about the mistake I made with going after the Captain America 9.0s.
Right.
But I quite like it because it's made it harder, because we can go online now and you can virtually buy anything if you've got enough money.
Yeah, it's a question of whether you just want to acquire to fill the run, or whether I'm going to hunt these down personally myself. Type of thing, right?
So I bought a pretty big book. I mean, I've underplayed it. I bought a pretty big book, but it's a short run. So what I decided to do,
and for any of Sunil's family members that are watching this right now, he got it at a steal, though. That's the thing. He paid pennies on the dollar.
This one I did.
Pence on the pound.
This one I paid absolute market rate on. So there's only 6 books in this run, 1 to 6, and my plan was to get incremental. So the first one is a 2.0. I've got that, and then was to go up 0.5 on each book. So 2.5 for a 2, 3.0 for a 3, etc., up till we get to the 4.5, and it's made it really hard.
Yeah,
because I see books like the wrong side of the grade, and there's a little part of me that's like, stupid, just give it up and just like buy the rest of the books. But I'm really enjoying like that constant, like, is that a 3.5? Is that a 4? Is that a 4?
What's going to suck is you're going to bypass a good deal on a higher grade and end up overpaying probably for that, because damn it, that's the one that fits my.
Which is what that the collector you guys must have seen, whose name escapes me now, DST Comics, who's got the complete ASM 1 to like 300 or something ridiculous, all in 5.0 white pages. Do you know how hard that is to find a 5.0 white page on issue like 64
or 3?
Yeah, and
or 1.
He spent all that time,
right?
And like towards the end, he was like, "I will pay 30% over GPA,
right,
just to get it done."
No, because I can't have the 6.0 white pages that's available. I need to have the 5.0 because that's what I said I was going to do.
And he was trading down. So he would literally have a 6, like he would have sent his own one in. It would have come back a 6.0 white pager, and he'd be like, "This is up for grabs," and we got the 5. So I'll show you where I am. Which
that's why collectors are weird.
Yeah. So I've got
we are
3 of the 6. I've got 3 and 4 in 3.0 and 3.5.
Oh,
which of course means where it started.
Oh, there it is.
The only book I've ever bought on a payment plan.
Yeah, that's a big book.
Yeah, and I didn't love doing it, and I probably won't ever do it again. Like it just doesn't sit well with me. That's kind of living beyond your means. So I think I'd probably not do it again. But it's a 2.0 sense copy. Very, very little Marvel chipping.
Yeah, it looks very good. I mean, yeah, obviously it has a lot of spine wear,
but
of course. But it's not in this. But it's not in the center of the image, and that's fine. I'm happy to have a 2.0, 1.8, whatever, if the damage is confined to the back or that edge, and the image is still clean as heck. Yeah. How much for that gray Hulk, Rob? Okay, so which one? That was like you're talking about Incredible Hulk 1.
Yep.
Incredible Hulk number 1. I think I've given away a facsimile of that on this show too. But let's see. That book in a 2.0. Wow, that's one you don't. Well, this is one that's steered weird. So this year, one sold in a 2.0 for 13.7, but a 1.8 also sold for 18,000.
Yeah.
So this is one of these ones where you get into this realm of where does it fit and what are some of the others. 3.0 just sold for 25,000 in the last 30 days. So that's dragging the FMV up. So,
I think at that bottom end, it so much depends on how it looks.
Right.
Because like you said at the beginning, not all 2.0s are the same.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 4 books left, which I think will fit us time-wise perfectly. While we're talking about 2.0s, I told this story recently, and the seller was like, I claimed this on an Instagram live, and the seller didn't follow up. The seller didn't send a DM saying, "Do you want to pay your bill?" So I dropped a DM, be like, "Oh, hey, like let me know how to pay up." And they were like, "Sure, like whenever you're ready, like no hurry."
That's weird.
You don't have to buy it if you don't want. Like I don't. It's a big buy. Like if you're not sure about it, like I totally get it.
In other words, he's not really. He's having second thoughts.
Yeah, he's having second thoughts.
Oh my! Oh my goodness!
Proving once again why I need another one of these. But
we need the hammer.
When it's Thor on the cover, it's kind of hard not to. But, so it's time to get some added new clips.
US.
Pardon?
6,000 US.
You paid 6,000 US for a 2.0. Oh boy.
Yeah, and it was, to be fair, it was a while back. Like it's definitely like
Taylor said he's never heard of it though.
Yeah. I've never held one.
Let me have a look. I can give you April 7th, 2021.
Oh my goodness.
So it's a while back, but like,
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's just over 2 years. It's over 18
months. Very, very big. Never get sick of seeing that clip.
Show's not over, folks.
That's right.
3 more to go.
I think the last time we had 3 Remy's in a show, it was like 3 9.9s or something in a row. We had in a show.
We've got 3 books left. I mean, I haven't story told this in the right way, so we're not going to end on a massive high. He says, looking at the list, trying to see if there's one I've missed.
Well, I'm in California. I might always end on a massive high.
This is an absolutely iconic cover. I think easy arguments that this is one of the best Marvel covers of all time, in a pretty decent grade as well. Silver Surfer, 8.5. Off-White, 1969. John Buscema absolutely nailed that.
I hope everybody at home is wearing their boner pants.
Oh my goodness.
That is, and this matches my Silver Surfer 1 8.5, and at some point I have to drop a 3 into that run.
Is that going to be our new scales? How many Remy's? This is a 3 Remy show. It's a 4.
Wow.
Wow. When Rob very kindly invited me onto the show, he sort of he gave me a bit of context about the show, and obviously I'd seen some episodes, and the point was not to come on and just show 6 AF-15s in different arrays, although it would be amazing if anyone could do that. But it was to show things that mattered to you. So,
yes, I'm collecting only AF-15s. I want one of every grade and every page quality. That's my new goal.
So the next one is I'm a father of 2. My oldest is 9 years old. She's just at the point now where she is picking up graphic novels and reading things, and isn't
that fun to
take
them to the comic book store together?
It is. I'm desperate not to force it on her. Like I don't want her to like hate it and resent it or whatever, but we watch Miss Marvel together, and obviously she's a young mixed race, Indian heritage, not Pakistani as Miss Marvel is, but it just means a lot to her.
It's a shared history, though.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, because the show had a big sequence about partitions, we had some great conversations about what that meant and why the British were the bad guys.
Exactly. History is history, people.
Which is fascinating for her. But this next book is important to the two of us. She knows the value of my collection. She understands it. She helps price things occasionally. She sees things getting shipped out. She understands that is her college fund. And at some point, they all get sold to pay for her education and my other daughter's education. But we have a shared agreement that there are a few books that don't go. This is one of them. This is hers. So it's in my collection, but she knows that this is hers. This is Superman 57. In this issue, Lois Lane can do everything Superman can do. And she's called Lois. So this is important to her in terms of saying, you can do everything Superman can do.
Yeah. So you named your daughter Lois?
Yeah.
That is terrific. What a way to have a premiere episode. That is just incredible.
Amazingly, my wife's maiden name is Lander. So she's Lois Lander Singley.
Nice.
Which is as close to Lois Lane as we could possibly get. But yeah, she's Lois Lander Singley. And this one, for her, is just that reminder.
Nice. And a 6.0. I mean, the story is phenomenal. The book is phenomenal.
But it's a 6.0.
You know what I love? And this is the color background that I love. This bright yellow marigold color that they used back then that just made the reds and the blues pop off the pages off of them. And that's the running joke that Scott from Hoarder's Hide has said, that because I recently had opened up so many books like this from the Golden Age, where he said that my new rabbit hole was golden covers of Golden Age books.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is it's a really thick old slab.
Yeah.
And it's got the archive paper.
Yeah.
It's just slipped. So it's another one where I'm like, should I recase this? I don't know. But it is actually relatively dirty. So there's a little part of me that goes, maybe
get a clean press, get a 7.0.
I'm actually like financially on that. Like, does it make a difference between the 6 and the 7? Probably not. But it would look nicer because it's one that's going to stay. I think it's going to do it. Right, we are. And
it's fine. But the thing I would say for anybody who doesn't know, the thing, of course, with this isn't like sending it over and getting a reholder for $14.
No,
right. This is the CGC does their part to make. Oh, this is a big boy book, and they make sure that they're going to get theirs, especially if you're going to have it regraded. This becomes one of those percentage books. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, it really will do. Right, 2 left. One of them because Chris mentioned it, and now I feel bad that if I don't show it, especially because it was Mark, who I think joined later looking for Superman books. I mentioned the Fantastic Four 5, the raffle where I bought everything out, and I also hinted that I've been quite successful, and I have been. 2 Ultimate Fallout 4s, an Avengers 8. Like I've probably won 60 books. But none bigger than the next one. This was a $125 win. Of course, you have to rack up all the losses in there. So,
right.
In my accounting, it's probably a $400 from the ones that I've lost to get to this point. But I think anyone watching today would take this for $400.
Oh.
Oh, the first Starro. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool book right there.
Starro, right?
I saw a big spike with the Suicide Squad. And Brave and Bold 28. This has definitely been a book that a lot of the regular people who watch the show have been coveting and have either recently acquired some or have been on the search for a great one. That is a phenomenal book. It is a book, however, I haven't cared to go search after. I'm quite happy with 29, just because I like the robot better.
The 29 is a better cover.
It's a hell of a book. Hell of a book.
But the significance of that book is through the roof, right?
Yeah,
despite what Discovery might be doing.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed they're getting it right, and we look back at it and go, "Batgirl saved the DC EU." That's what I'm hoping in years to come. We'll be like, "This was the moment where actually it headed in the right way." Chris mentioned this book. I wasn't going to show it because I've shown a ton of Superman books, but it feels like a nice one to end on. And
yeah.
to say thank you all for sticking with us and hopefully enjoying the show. Fred Ray is one of my favourite Superman cover artists. And it was really the reason I started collecting Golden Age, is because I got offered the chance to swap a few Batman Raws for this 6.5 number 15, which is gorgeous. And I used to live in San Francisco, so it feels like the bridge, and like there's something that feels great.
Just up the road from me.
Yes,
I'm at the bottom of the bay, the San Francisco Bay.
Well, I used to live in El Cerrito, so just north of Albany.
Yeah, I'm in Santa Clara.
Oh my goodness!
So this was a trade. I got it, and that was when the mission started for 4 to 61, all the 1940s.
Again, look at these colors and the quality.
It's
of the
a 6.5.
This is, like I said, guys. The toxic inks that they used at that time were so good that like they strengthened the paper. Plus, the paper quality actually was significantly better than the paper quality that we get today. So it's always great. Yeah, look at that.
Yes, yes, Sunil. Yes,
it's because you're excited about the 6.5.
Yeah, yeah. Before Remy show,
the record has now been set.
And like any true great American comic book of the time, flip it around the backside. Load your kids up with an arsenal. You need to have a carbine, kids, with your Christmas money. Get this. Yes.
But Chris mentioned it, so I wanted to show it before I left, just to say thank you. And it feels like the right one to close it out for this show.
Oh yeah, yes, this is just such a wonderful book. Yeah. Beautiful, and such a hard cover because of the black and the era, and even though the page quality is better, they were handed around and passed around like the red light district.
I gotta admit, when they do the next Man of Steel movie with Henry Cavill, fingers crossed, that the movie poster, there's at least one movie poster that homages this cover. To me, that is the most iconic Superman cover ever made.
What if they do it with a crossover with Peacemaker and they have Eagly?
I don't care what bird it is.
That would be amazing.
That is truly iconic. Thank you, Sunil, for showing that. That is fantastic.
The two things with this, I think, because of how iconic that cover is, I think there's a bunch of kids that cut that cover off and stuck it up.
Yeah.
In their houses, in their bedrooms, or whatever. I also think, and I can't promise this, but I'm pretty confident, inside this, in 1942, there is an advert in these books about recycling your comics.
Yes, for the
war
effort. Yep.
Yeah. So this is the start, 42, 43, 44, where in the book you were being encouraged to be patriotic and recycle your books. Save the paper. And like there would have been pressure on kids then who would have been like, my brother, my uncle, my dad, my cousin has gone off to fight. My patriotic duty is to read this book because it doesn't get more patriotic this, and then to recycle it. So like these don't exist in the same volume.
And recycle the staples and the
yeah.
Wow.
1942, 5.0 off-white to white. It's a CBCS. Fred Ray, Jerry Siegel. Yeah, old. Again, I haven't got the guts. I've got the guts to mess with this.
No. Oh my goodness, sir, that was quite the run, and I am so glad that you came on the show for this, our inaugural episode under the new banner. Thank you so much.
No worries.
And I hope I know that you don't have a huge slab collection. I hope though that sometime down the road, as you turn over some,
look at that quality.
Right? No, that's what I'm saying. I'm hoping that you will consider coming on the show again at a future date, sir. Wonderful conversations, great stories.
I'd love it. I'd love to come back on. Realistically, I've shown 30 out of 116, and they're not all fire.
September 3rd is available. Just saying.
No, it's not.
Okay.
We're booked out until the end of October right now. So,
wow.
Yeah, we got two brothers comics. Dustin from Two Brothers is coming on September 3rd. He filled in for Polanski, he's coming in October 1st. He's been on before. Yeah, we got Polanski, we got Man Cave. We've had some big. This summer has been. You were just another piece in a this summer has been a mega summer for us with Spider Planet, and we've had Polanski, of course, Man Cave. God, I can't remember. Bub's Comics has been on.
Biggie.
Yeah, we've got coming up Nerdy Girls coming up in September, and just so.
It's going to be.
I think we DJ Links might be our low rent customer.
Wow.
Teasing DJ. Oh man, but no, thank you very much appreciated, especially I know it's much later there, though fortunately it's still a reasonable hour of the night.
Yeah, it's 9:05. Some point in 2023 when you guys have got a spare space, I'll come on and show what's been added since then. But
absolutely
incredibly honored to be invited on.
Guys, make sure you take down below in the description and check out. I forgot to run the freaking banners this whole time. My goodness. Here you go. Check them out at @ilson_comics on Instagram. Give him a follow. Do you do anything on YouTube?
I don't actually.
There you go. This is it, right?
Yeah. So I pop up. I do once every 45 days. We do the unboxing. It's not really an unboxing because nobody wants to see me cut out packaging, but I show off the latest acquisitions, and it's always relatively nice because it's a bunch of stuff that I've bought, but because I bring stuff into the country for other people, there's always some random stuff in there that you're like, I do not know what that is, and neither do I. But somebody else has bought it, sent it to me, and I'm bringing it back to the UK. So,
by the way, while we're having this wrap-up conversation, guys, go ahead and throw the old hashtag OnlySlabs in the chat there. We're going to do our final giveaway for the show. Sorry to interrupt you there. So, yeah, you do an occasional new arrivals show.
Yeah. So on Instagram is where I spend most of my days. In years gone by, I used to work for Instagram, so it's my natural home.
Fair enough. That makes sense.
Instagram rather
than I'll make it bigger for everyone. How's that? Awesome. So, guys, give him a follow, please. Sunil, again, thank you very much. Chris, as always, it's a pleasure hosting this journey around the sun with you. Next week, everybody, Man Cave Comics returns. Like I said, we're gonna have him on, and then we will after that we'll take a break for 1 week just because I have to run off to take my oldest to university and move him in, and I won't get back until after the show normally airs. And every once in a while, if I don't give Chris a weekend off, he starts talking about going on strike or something. So give him some time off. Anyway, so get this thing.
He owes it to me.
Yeah, something like that. 29. Let's give you guys another 10-15 seconds to hit that hashtag OnlySlabs. We got 22 out of 29 people. Then we will do our drawing and then we'll get on out of here. Again, don't forget, if you're looking for somebody trusted to press your books and you're in the US, consider the roguetraderutah.com. Use the code FATSTACKS, get 20% off, and get $10 donated to Comics Curing Cancer. Also, if you've forgotten or because we haven't talked about it in a while, down below in the description is linked to my link tree. On there, you'll find links not only to my social stuff and the merch store, but also is the Google Doc where I keep track of a bunch of different signing events that are upcoming, that if you are looking for a particular artist sign a book and you don't live near where a con comes around or you haven't seen an artist in a while, you can check that with the trusted facilitators. Some of them are a lot of them are CGC in-house. A lot of them are facilitator for like Clan McDonald, which does stuff for CBCS. And then there's a lot of stuff for some trusted facilitators that I've used. Just understand that when you go to a private signing that's not at a con event, expect that could take a considerable amount of time for you to get your book back, especially if it's an international signing. It's not uncommon sometimes for those to take up to 2 years for a working artist to sign a book. By the time they ship it out, they get a chance to sign it at on their own pace, send them back. Then they go to CGC or CBCS and they end up going the slow boat or whatever. So just be aware of that and don't get frustrated. But there's some really cool things, including, like I already mentioned, the Paul Dini signing that's coming up at CGC, but Bruce Timm is also doing a signing. It's a private signing because he doesn't do cons hardly ever, and he's not doing it this year. But Alpha Omega Signature Service is hosting a private signing for Bruce Timm, with the deadline looming middle of next month. Just so you guys know, that link is down below. All right, let's go ahead and do this drawing and get on out of here.
Wheel of Fish.
There you go, Fish of Wheel.
Did I hear Todd's doing another CGC thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chop and drop. All right, congratulations, Chop and Drop. All right, Chris.
Oh, by the way, sorry, just quickly, sorry, I'm trying to wrap up. Chris just mentioned the Todd McFarlane CGC signing. If you get a chance to go to Todd's page and watch his video about what you can and can't send, it's one of the most fantastic works of trolling you've ever seen. She's like, I will not sign any book that I didn't work on or I didn't have anything to do with the character. And then he turns over an Action 1 and says, I will not sign this book. There's literally no reason to show it. He just turns it over. He's like, I will not sign this.
This is what I got, y'all. Hey, Chris, you're Canadian. You should just reach out to him and see if he wants to come on the show.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
Thanks. I appreciate
I'll let
that.
you know.
All right, let's go ahead and draw some books for Chop and Drop. Chris, how are we going to take care?
All right.
How are you going to satisfy Chop and Drop's needs?
All right. So Chop and Drop, his handle is actually Chop and Drop 2013. So let's go 2 from the front. 13 from the rear, Rob. I know that's a little bit higher than what we normally count, but we'll give him a little respect. Chop is actually, again, one of the nicest guys in the YouTube community. Always comments on our videos and spend some time with us when we go live. And now we're going to go front to back. Now, take the 2 that's there, Rob. And we'll go back to front. We'll let it ride. I hope everyone enjoyed today's premiere episode. Now, and the 2 that's there.
Alrighty then.
Satisfy my needs. I'm trying, baby. I'm trying.
All right. How about X-Men number 5?
Boom. That's it. It's over. Put the rest of the books back. It's all over. The greatest Wolverine cover ever made. That's all over. Thank you. Good night. Thanks for subscribing.
Second appearance of Omega Red.
Awesome. Great cover.
How about Marvel 2-in-1, The Thing and Liberty Legion?
Nice. Some late 70s, early 80s goodness. UPC code right there up front.
And you got a Swastika cover.
What? Oh, look at that. Yeah. Punching Ben in the face. How dare they?
Oh, how about the Mark Brooks, Captain America anniversary cover there, retelling this. So not only did you get you got a swastika cover, but you got Captain America
returning the favor,
punching a Hitler.
Yeah.
Yes. That's awesome. Damn it. Why is that book still in there? Oh, and then we'll balance it out with Ravage 2099 issue number 1.
Some gold foil. Nice.
Now this book is rough, a little bit rougher, so it doesn't get a bonus pull.
We'll go back and
we
get
owe it
more.
Yes, we'll go back for that in a moment. How about Go Power Rangers?
Nice.
From Boom Studios.
Nice. That's great. Hold that back up, Rob. That's a great
number
cover.
1. Issue
Look
number
at
1.
that. Red Ranger coming right at you.
He's coming after your money.
Those franchises aren't cheap.
All right. Oh, how about Super Pro?
Oh yes, yeah. That book spites every February for some reason.
And guess what? Chop and Drop. You get the last piece of inventory on hand. You get the Legacy SlabHub mug. Congratulations on that.
Nice.
And we got to pull one more book.
All right. Sunil said that he had 2 children, so we're going to go 2 from the front.
All right. This book is Dark Horse Presents.
Oh.
And I remember this is a key, as I recall.
Yeah, it is a key.
Yeah.
It's one of the early, or I can't remember, first Xenomorph or whatever the hell the deal is. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an aliens guy, but you got it from so that's a pretty good pool there. You know, some of that, some Super Pro, some kindling for your starting a fire.
Easy now.
The last Stan Lee created character.
That's weird but true.
Nazis getting punched by Captain America. Not just any Nazis, but the Nazi.
Yeah. And yes.
And of course, just some fun. The two. Who doesn't love Marvel 2-in-1s? My goodness gracious! Good job. Congratulations, Chop and Drop. And congratulations to everyone who came on out and got to see this stack. Look, he's still showing them off on the side there. He's like, look at this.
You mentioned
Look
him
at
doing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh, the stuff in the neck, like real, like pulled apart.
Bonus pull.
I'll say that. I'll show probably next time.
All right, guys. As we always do. Until next time, guys, collect what you want. Don't listen to anybody, including any of us, but especially me, because I'm just a fat man with a fat stack of comics and a fat opinion. Thanks for watching.